Today is day number 4 for me for Krista's Beautiful Life. They are on day 8, so I'm about 4 days behind, but I am just having a great time with this. Today I am going to use a 9 by 9 sketch, and I'm going to show you some things. So I kind of pick um, certain sketches that work really well for a smaller sketch. And so this one, I'm using it as a 9 by 9 and it works really great um, sometimes I feel like if a sketch has too many elements, and sometimes it doesn't look as great on a smaller one. And I have these 9 by 9 albums that I'm giving for gifts, and I have them left over for my Close to My Heart Day, so I am wanting to use them up. So I am using this sketch. It is by Shannon Keith, and I stay pretty close to the design. However, what I do is I usually make a 2-page layout. So what I am doing today is I am repeating the layout. So what I'm doing is I'm doing this side. So I'm going to make this side exactly like this, and then I will repeat with my sponging on this side and my picture layout on the other. So for this particular sketch, I am stretching it, which means I'm making it larger, but I am also doing, so I'm doing a repeating. Tomorrow I am going to do a 9 by 9 again, and I am going to do something called rotating the sketch, and I will show you that tomorrow. So Krista's Beautiful Life is a daily challenge, and each day we have a new sketch. And I hope you'll pop by. There are lots of gals out there, and they have all kinds of fun things that they're working on, and you can learn so much. So what I'm going to do today is, this is a trunk or treat layout that was a lot of fun. For my base, I am using paper that is called Irresistible. This particular Irresistible is by Stampin' Up. I had quite a few, and you can see that I did my practice, because I like to practice to make sure the colors are going to be what I want them to be. And I'm thinking about adding another green. We'll see how much, if I feel like I really need to have more added to this layout. It might be a little too plain, so I might add paper on this side. It just depends on how much I have going on. So let's go ahead and get started. And you can see from the sketch, she has added three different colors. And I'm really kind of regretting that I did not throw that green color in there. And I might dig around and find it. I might add it a little bit later. I'm really kind of wishing I had. But let's go ahead and get started and see if I like it. I can always add more color. The nice thing about oxide ink is they can touch each other without looking ugly. A lot of times if we do that with our inks, they're going to get lovely. So they're going to get muddled. So here I am, and I'm trying not to lose all my stuff. I put it in a neat pile, and I put everything else I was supposed to do on it, and then I forget half of the things I'm going to do, but we'll set this to a side and see how we go. This is a pretty simple layout, and so if you've never tried Irresistibles, to me, an irresistible paper, it kind of gives you the beauty of using a mixed media without having to add the stencil. So it's almost like the stencil pattern is with it, and it makes a good base. So I'm super stoked about that. And I've got my water down here, and I'll show you. There are a lot of ways to do mixed media. I do it the simplest way, and I'm not real fussy, and I'm not a perfectionist. So I am going to go ahead and get started. I guess I could use, you know what, I'm gonna change my mind, and I'll do the left side first, because that usually has more detail, and then when I go to line things up, if I have things on the left side, it usually makes me happy. So this was a really cute, so this is the first time I remember. I guess Calvary Chapel has done trunk or treats in the past. I just don't remember them. So, and my daughter's husband, um, is dad is the pastor of that church, so they had it was really cute. So each family chose a Bible story, and they decorated their car up, and it's really great. And it was a beautiful day. Um, my kids grew up in Oregon, so every every Halloween it was so wet and miserable. It was unbelievable. So I am going to put a little bit of orange down here. And I tried to match my blending brushes, but I'm not real fussy about that either. So I'm going to, my picture has green and orange. I'm going to try the orange up at the top and the orange at the bottom and some gray in the middle. I might eventually add green, but I'll probably do that after camera because I have already done that. So I just put it on my mess mat. I'm going to take the water before I ruin it. Okay, that's not just plain water. So I am going to, yeah. So I just add a little bit of water just because I like that bubbling effect. And I think the Irresistible is, it's a little bit more durable than, say, your regular paper. If I'm not using Irresistibles, I usually try to use a watercolor. So I'm just going to go ahead, and I have no rhyme or reason. I did have some stamps that I was going to stamp on here, but I'm going to let that dry, and I will just add, I'll just show you, I'll add a stamp. When you come on, that's the final thing. I don't always do everything on there, just kind of give you an idea. So see how nicely this comes on here as an Irresistible? And it's like, it's kind of like not having to go through the bother of a stencil. And I literally have a whole pack of these. I picked them up at a garage sale, I think, and I know that they have Irresistibles now, but I thought I'm going to use what I have, and then I'll replace them. There's all kinds of designs. And so this is just, I'm using oxides, but if you do not have oxides, this method will work with just your regular inks. Stampin' Up pads are usually pretty good, juicy, and I use their minis, and it's just that I have these oxide inks and I'm going to use them. So, and see, the nice thing about these is they kind of all run together, and I think that looks really good. And I am going to do some, I'm going to stamp some black stars. I do have those. I don't have them ready to go, but I thought I did, but I don't. So I'm going to add those black stamps a little bit later. And next I'm going to add my, I'm going to add my pictures without getting too messy. So my little guy, he was getting, they brought him, but he hadn't gotten his skunk outfit on yet, so he was a cute little skunk. I'm covering his face up because he is a borrowed, even though he's my grandson, he is borrowed, and I do try to keep their privacy. This was him and his other grandma, and hers was, yeah, she had a really cute, and I will decide which one. So this one's a little bit bigger, so they have the bigger one down here, and this is kind of how the day started. So they kind of started by getting him ready, and his uncle is helping him get ready, and then this was his dad. His dad was dressed up like Jonah. I think they were Jonah and the whale, and they had like bubbles in theirs, and he just thought that was really cool. It's like, at first he was, every candy he got he would stop and eat it, and then it was kind of like he's figured out, I was like, oh, I don't have to eat all this stuff. So I'm going to kind of put this down here, and I have a few things, and I'm looking here, they have stars, and I do have those acrylic stars, and I'll probably add those a little bit later. But I do have some stickers from a lot of different packs, so I am going to try to use those up as well. So the other thing too is I need to allow, it's a little trickier with the 8x8, so if I'm not careful, I will take up all the space and then there won't be one for the title. So I do need to allow enough room for the trick. So this one, I'm thinking, is going to have to come farther down here. And that's his dad. I don't, I think he saw his dad before he got there, but once he saw him, he wasn't for sure that was necessarily a good thing to go hang out with that funny looking guy. Okay, I've got to line up my letters, so I'm going to move my mess mat. And my mess mat up, it really is getting quite, it looks quite disgusting at this point. Okay, so I'm going to do this, and I'm going to put my trick. When I'm looking at this on there, see how they have it, oh, see it that way, sorry. They have it about halfway down, so, well, actually it was 3 on this one, so if this is an 8, maybe I'm going to try putting it right at 5. So I'm going to line this up, and it's going to be trunk, and I actually cut out, I'm not for sure what this one said, but, and now I'm thinking, I'm probably going to glue these down after. You don't want to sit and watch me glue all these down. No, you don't. Okay, so this is going to be trunk. We'll just put it in place and then we'll glue it all off camera. All right, the main thing is this. So on these, I always try to find one thing that makes the layout unique. And in this case, it was the inking and the 3 pictures. So there is my trunk. I'll put that a little bit over this way. And then I cut out, this was a PML card, but I'm going to put it right there, trunk or, and that is on, that's on 5. Okay. So then I have to add my little things that I'm going to add. So this one's pointing to his Uncle Dan, helping him get in his skunk outfit. He wasn't for sure about putting on clothes that required him to have a tail. And then I have a lot of these cute little stars. We're going to put some pumpkins down here. We'll put, oh, that's what I was going to do. Oops. Sorry, little trunk. You know, I really do kind of want to put that down, but I just think it's going to take time, and I don't know how to speed this thing up. So this one is a black pumpkin. It is a sticker. It's from the Boo Crew, if you wanted to know which one it actually came from, which was a Halloween paper pack from close to my heart. So I'm going to put the black one over here. Actually, I'm going to put this one flush, and then I will pop up the other one. So I'm going to put this one down here, and you can always add to it. I won't torture you because I haven't been by my. I couldn't figure out how to do my video, so I haven't had them for a long time. So doing a video every day is like a lot. So I'm just going to kind of show you the basic ideas. I'm going to put this down. I am kind of putting these at an angle. I think sometimes it just, although I think I had the pumpkins up here, so I'm going to have that like there, so then I can have a little shelf for pumpkins to put there. And I have a cute little cross. I'm going to try putting, because it was a church event, I'm going to try to, oops, there, cover that little guy up. I'm going to try, I think, to stamp a cross on there, because she has a cross on hers, and I thought that was really cute. And if I can find something that replicates something that's in the picture, I do try to do that. And this one, they also had a fish balloon, and we had a fish balloon. He had his fish balloon for quite some time, and then he was so very sad when his fish balloon no longer had oomph. So I'm going to put that right there. And I'm just going to put it right there. I'm going to cover my little guy up so you don't quite see him quite as easy there. He's, oops. Sometimes his little face. It's kind of funny because he tends not to look people in the eye, so we don't have a lot of full-on pictures. So if I'm doing videos, I don't really have to worry about him too much because, like I said, he's not one to look you straight in the eye. And he did make a really cute little skunk. Okay, there's that one. And we'll just add this little right there. So now I want my pictures to be straight, and I'm duplicating the same thing. So I'm going to go through the same process with this one. I'm going to put some pumpkins up here. And I'm going to put a leaf right here, I think. Just adding a little interest to the middle of it. Thought about putting it on the side because now it seems kind of heavy on this side, so I might move this over here. I also had a journaling spot that I thought about. See, this one, there's only room for one pumpkin over here, so I'm going to have to put this one here, and then maybe this one down here. This one can go up here with, I think I need that leaf right there to add a little bit of interest. I'll put a pumpkin here, grab another pumpkin, and that will go right there. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in my other Irresistibles, and once again, I am going to grab my Irresistibles and I'm going to do orange. I'm going to make sure I have my, and I don't, I'll take this up. Can you see the pattern that's on there, how it's glossy? And that's how it works. But Irresistibles work great if you're having a hard time matching a color. Irresistibles are great because, and I still got my little blob here, so I'm just going to grab that. Oh, I need to put it on here because I don't want to make a mess. And I probably will ink the edges of this, and then I'm going to go down here at the bottom. And it doesn't, I'm not worried about it being exact, because mixed media is supposed to be kind of a, grunge is not the right word. It's kind of unplanned, it's kind of spontaneous. It's, yeah. So let's try some of this. We'll get that in there. And if it goes, a little bit of the gray gets in there, that's okay. I don't have as many, I don't feel like my pictures are as big, so I'm going to put a little bit more on that side. Okay. So there's that. And then we're going to line up our treat. And you can see how I've replicated things. You could put, I thought about putting green underneath the letters. That might look good. So I'm going to put this right here. And then I'm going to, ooh, that is not. This is 9. Is this 9? I feel like I cut crooked or something. Let's try it again. It is not. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay. I scared myself. Woo! That was scary. Okay. So I'm going to put this so I can line it up. I like the middle so that it's lined together. And then I will, yeah, because that's the most important thing, is getting your letters lined up. Okay. All right. And then that's going to go right there. trunk, or I'm going to have a little bit of space. Make sure I can find my treat here. If I could, and you can fast forward. If you know how to fast forward, good for you. Go ahead and fast forward. That's going to go right here. So I'm repeating all the elements that I had in the other one. Of course, I've lost a letter, so just use your imagination. They're on here. So, oops, there's my E. I just have to find a T. It's not a real video unless I lose at least something. We've got trick or treat. Oh, look at that! I've got the whole T. And then, like this one, I'm going to repeat. I'm going to have my one Sandy Up picture, and this baby, his mom was the one that, her mom was the one that arranged this activity. Oh, that's why I should have put them down, but you get the idea. I'm going to do that trunk or treat, and trunk or treat. And this oar, I have a bigger oar. I'm thinking about using it. So this is trunk or treat, and then we have this little baby who is brand new. She's going to go up here, and then we have this cute little, these guys. I think this might be Moses. So Moses had a trunk, and he was handing out treats as well. We're going to cover up Dad and the baby because these are borrowed people. Just in case you're from Caldwell and you might know them. Okay. Oh, oops. Gonna put this back down. And the baby is a bee. I thought about putting some bee things in here too, so I'm gonna do this like this. And then I will just embellish. And when you see, you will finally, so when you look, as you're coming on, you will look and see the final, and I'll have the final pictures of what this looks like when you first come on. I will add some pumpkins here, we'll add some stars, maybe do a little bit of stamping, but that is how you change a one page into two. And I'm thinking I might audition some paper to tear here, or yeah, I might add a little bit more, or maybe a banner or something. But anyway, that is my layout for Christy's Beautiful Life. I'll have it up there. And you can see I stayed pretty close to it, and I will add I'm going to look for those acrylic stars, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you so much. Bye.